All right, guys, I'm back and I've got a special guest today. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of anything motocross and especially people who are doing it right, doing it safe. And I happen to notice there's the track in California. It used to be a little bit of a junky track, but it's been there forever. It's Perris Raceway. So I got with my buddy Kenny Watson. He got me in contact with Scott Cooney, who is in the process of rebuilding it and making it into a destination. What's happening, Scott? How we doing?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on the podcast. It's an honor to be on this, man. It's always good to be able to kind of share what we're doing and getting more people to understand what we've actually done out at Perris Raceway.
Well, let's walk this back to the beginning. So, what in the hell prompted you guys to buy this track and take it over and revamp it?
Well, actually, we actually didn't buy the property. We actually just signed a lease for the property with Vince Graves. Vince Graves actually owns Perris Raceway, the property that it sits on. He's had it for about 40 years, and we had the opportunity to take the lease over and clean the place up. There's three partners in this. There's me, Scott Cooney. There's Dino DeMarco, and then there's Lauren Borski, and we're all local business owners here in Southern California, and we've all been involved in motocross. And we had the opportunity to take Perris over, so we decided, you know what, we're going to change the atmosphere in Southern California. We're going to bring back the most iconic racetrack west of the Mississippi.
Ooh, that's a bold claim, but I love and so I spent the morning watching. I watched some of your YouTube videos. It's WTP Motorsports is the YouTube channel, and you guys have documented from start till now. It's pretty current, right?
Yeah, we do every Tuesday. We try to launch a YouTube video to keep everything kind of up to speed, to keep everybody up to speed on what we've done and where we're heading. So it's so far I think for the last 12, 14 weeks, every Tuesday we launch one right around noon.
Nice. And now so my biggest issue with tracks is I listen, there's no chance in hell we're ever going to make riding dirt bikes safe. It's just not. It is what it is. Yeah. But the stupid bothers me when many kids are out there with adults, when pros are out there with quads. Like there's some of the stuff that just shouldn't happen. And you guys saw that too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. We, our number one goal obviously is to run a safe track and a safe facility. And us being a brand new business, an insurance policy is the key to everything. And it took a lot to get our insurance. And, we don't want to shit the bed right out of the gate. It's been a lot to maintain a staff and be profitable, especially with fuel prices the way they are. It's doubled. Fuel prices have doubled, and but we're gonna get through it. We're gonna work through the bugs, and we're gonna continue to be a little creative, and we're gonna kind of maintain having a safe track for everyone to enjoy.
And I noticed you're working with the Brett Downey Foundation.
That's correct.
How's that working? Are they implementing some stuff in your flagger training, or how's that going?
So what we did, part of getting our insurance, we actually implemented their safety program and we put it in our portfolio. So when we sent in our portfolio for insurance, we actually included that document with our insurance portfolio, which actually really helped quite a bit to get us over the edge and to get that policy in place. And we've actually implemented all of their training and all their safety guidelines on our track, and we use them every day.
That's great. I mean, like I said, there's no chance you can make this safe, but the stupid we've got to get rid of.
Right.
There's Absolutely. Enough injuries without dumb stuff.
We're in the process. Kenny's actually putting together. We just gave him the artwork for those safety lights. All of our blind takeoffs are gonna have safety lighting that will operate from an observation area on the track. And that'll cut down, some of the blind takeoffs and give some of the riders a little bit of a heads up. Most of the amateur riders are used to using them with Loretta's and the Loretta qualifiers and stuff. So we're trying to implement this lighting on the track to kind of get everyone familiar with, having those lights to kind of, we're trying to be state of the art. I mean, I know this isn't state of the art, equipment, but we're trying to implement it in a public facility to give everybody the feeling.
So I haven't ridden on a track with safety lights. Is this something where I come up to a jump and all of a sudden it's going to have a flashing yellow so I know somebody's down?
That's correct. Yep.
And you don't have to have some 12-year-old kid risking his life standing in front of me with a flag. This is
no. We'll have flaggers still on the course, but we're just taking a next step to kind of, I guess I'm saying, make it idiot proof a little bit. I mean, there's nothing better than having a second type of safety device to help, a rider that's taking off on a blind takeoff to know that there's something going on the other side.
Yeah, and I've been preaching this in Supercross. Why couldn't they just have lights all over? Why are we like standing a guy in the middle of 450s launching, 30, 40 feet in the air? I mean, we'd probably have a few guys out there to maybe help out, but lights, like, that's the future, man. It really is.
I agree. So what we did is we gave Kenny our artwork this week. They're going to have the Ride Perris logo, Perris Raceway logo with the WTP Motorsports and the Brett Downey Foundation logo on the pads. We're probably going to have it's either 7 to 8 sets that we're going to put them in places on the track where they're most conducive to have an injury, whether a blind takeoff, an off camber corner where you can't see the downside, or just, in a high speed section we have a pretty high speed section. It's over the finish. And then there's a ski jump that goes into like a set of rollers. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen the changes that we made last week, but we'll have those lights in those places too. If we get a high speed section where a guy goes down, we can flash the lights as well as a flagger.
Yeah. And the Kenny you're talking about is Kenny Watson, the legendary marketing master who I do a podcast here with. You've brought him on and he's helping you guys out.
Yep, we just got his contract signed yesterday. We had a meeting here at the office here. It's been about 2 weeks of a lot of back and forth, getting things ironed out, getting the legal verbiage, legal gymnastics worked out on the contract. And yeah, we've hired him to help us facilitate some outside sponsors and also to bring us some of the outside industry, possibility of having some outside industry sponsors as well. So
brilliant. I love it. Yep. Kenny's a good guy and he's probably the best that I know at doing exactly that. So
yeah, Kenny comes from the same kind of background. All three of us, me, Lauren, and Dino, we're pretty much blue collar, growing up in blue collar neighborhoods. We're self-made guys. We've worked our asses off to get where we're at. We all love this sport. We didn't need to do this, but the sport in Southern California, we feel, is dying, just because there's no family atmosphere. We're bringing the family atmosphere back to Perris Raceway, and again, it is the most iconic track in I feel in California besides Glen Helen. Anytime you see a picture of the background of Perris, it's Perris Raceway. And that says a lot. It doesn't matter if you're in the United States or in Europe. It's got a lot of rich heritage, from Goat Record running the facility, to the Burtons running the facility, to Rick and Sebastian, and and the rest of the cast that's had it over the few years. We're honored to be a part of it, and we're excited to to change some of the things that have been going on in Southern California. We're trying to make a statement.
And what about practices? Do you split them up as far as, because that's one of the issues with California practices, just a free for all. Do you split them at all?
Yeah. So what we're doing is we've kind of, the first week of 2 weeks that we were open, we had anywhere from 200 to 275 riders show up at Perris. Between the vet track and the main track, we did have to start splitting practices up. But the track, it's a good 2-minute lap time for an average rider. So we feel that we can get 60 to 70 guys on that track, and it's spread out enough to where it can handle that. But when we start getting 115 to 120 riders, yeah, we got to pay attention, and we have to start splitting practices up.
Nice. Yeah. And then what about racing? Now, Kenny was saying something about a series in the summer for the pros.
Yeah, so right now, we're so new, and we had a buzz started, and what we did is we kind of committed early on some racing. We had some vet racing, and we had to, go with those obligations. And then we actually even threw a Moto for Kids event in that was we weren't really prepared for it, but we did it anyways, just because we were trying to see how this thing would all work out. But right now, for I'd say the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to just focus on getting our policies and procedure in place, getting the rest of the facility dialed in, so that when we get ready to start racing, in July, August, September, October, all of our policies and procedures are in place. The facility is ready to go, and we're a little bit more dialed in so that we can actually do some. We're gonna, promote some of our own races. We're gonna bring the Hot Summer Night series back, and we're gonna do some other things. And we just don't know exactly how they all fit in right now, but that's the plan, is to run our own race series at Perris Raceway.
That'll be awesome. Because when I think of Perris, I think of those suitcases with 10 grand in it that Goat Brecker used to do.
Yep.
Like a place where privateers and pros could make some money on the side.
Absolutely.
Because right now, the riders can make a little bit in Supercross. They can make enough to, it's not nearly as, it's not good, but it's not horrible. Whereas they go outdoors, I don't know if you're aware of the purse payout for an outdoor national. It's $70,000 split between 80 riders.
Yeah.
But then you figure out if these guys paid $35,000 in entry fees. So essentially you got 80 riders splitting up $35,000 at a national. That's embarrassing.
There was a time here in Southern California, this was the mecca of motocross. I mean, me growing up from the early 70s, I have personal friends that raced, in the early 70s, with DG and guys like Jim Dolman and Mark Tyner, and, all of those guys that were local pros back then. There was a time those guys could race, 4 days a week, 5 days a week at Orange County Raceway, Indian Dunes, Saddleback, it's just a number of different places. Irwindale Raceway, Corona Raceway. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. Ascot, and those guys could make $1,000 to $1,300 a week just racing local races in Southern California.
Yeah, Dean Matson, Kenny Czar. There was this whole crew of California guys. They would race a national occasionally, and they'd race the West Coast Supercrosses, but they made a living just racing.
They did. And all those guys did.
And that's kind of what I believe is one of the things that's killing the sport. Nobody races. They race the majors, the nationals, and it leaves, if there's only one option to race, these promoters can just take all the money themselves, because what else are you going to do?
Yeah, I know. I mean, our goal eventually is to, when Goat used to run the winter warm-up before Supercross, I mean, that was a huge event. I mean, and all the factories, well, not all, but a lot of the factories participated in that event. And, there was the whole hillside at Perris. That whole hillside would be filled with fans, and from the pits to the hills, all wrapped all the way around Clayton Avenue. That whole place was just completely packed with people, and those were some of the best events that I remember going to, other than some of the good Supercross battles that we've had over the few years. But Perris is an iconic place, and it would be nice to bring that stuff back and get some pro purses put together, so that no entry fees. If you hold an AMA license and you're a top 100 guy that holds the license, you can come and race for free and make some money.
God, that's awesome. That's so refreshing, and I'm stoked to hear you say that. And now WTP, what does WTP stand for?
We the People Motorsports.
Ooh, I love it. I did not know it was We the People. We the People Motorsports. Yeah, I love it. And that's the three of you guys, and you guys are doing what you can to essentially make this thing badass again. I love it.
Yeah, Dino DeMarco, one of the business partners, he's really good with promoting things like We the People Motorsports. He actually came up with that when we were in Arlington, Texas a few years back, and he's really witty with words and putting things together like that. He's good at promoting certain things, and so he gets all the credit for that. That's all him.
That's awesome. And so just so people know, WTP, We the People, you guys also help a lot of struggling racers. You got Colby Kopp, Brian Brees. Who else you got? And you're lined up with
name it.
Parks.
I mean, Ted Parks, TPJ Racing, Ted Parks has run that program for a good 15 years. And I've been a title sponsor of Ted's through DSC Construction. I'd say probably coming on 12 years or a little over 12 years. And I've worked with everyone from, I mean, Ben LeMay to Nick Schmidt to, you know, to, God, I mean, there's been so many kids that I've helped out over the years. I can't even think of, you know, of all of them. There's just been handfuls of them. Ryan Brees is somebody that we're working with now. Dino and I and Lauren made Ryan's Supercross season possible this year so that he could race the entire season. And he hasn't let us down. He's an amazing young guy. He's probably one of the toughest, hardest working guys that I know, that's a privateer that really takes this thing serious and wants results. And we're stoked to be a part of his program.
Yeah, Brees. Yeah, we're a big fan of Brees too. He's tough as nails.
Yeah,
I like him. I'm glad he's finally getting a legit shot this year.
Yep.
He's kind of been overlooked a little bit. So
he has, and we're really stoked to have, you know, put him in the right place with Ted. You know, it took a lot to get Ryan to come over. Not really a lot. We just wanted to, I knew, and the guys knew that Ryan had a lot of potential, and he's had it for years. And we just felt that if we could help him out this season to get him through all the rounds, that it would be beneficial for him. And we just want to see him succeed.
Yeah, good stuff, man. Well, I am excited to see where you guys take Perris Raceway. I'm sure we'll do this again. We got to get Dino on here with you. He looks like a character in the videos. He seems to really like the camera. So
yeah, he's a good dude. And Lauren's, you know, we all bring something really special to this relationship in this business. You know, I bring a construction background. Dino brings a kind of a marketing, you know, coming up with slogans background. Lauren's got a lot of really good ideas, and he thinks outside the box. And you know, he has a heavy haul company. He moves big equipment. He's not a real big camera guy, but you know, it's okay, right? It takes all three to make it happen.
Yeah, and I crack up because you know, he does hide from the camera. I'm like, that's probably the guy making all the decisions, because those quiet guys that sit back and observe, they're the geniuses. They're the ones that I really pay attention to. So
yeah, no, it's been really cool doing this, and you know, our hearts are in the right place, and you know, we're, like I said, we're trying to bring back, you know, the roots of motocross here in Southern California. And you know, there's a lot of people that probably don't like what we're doing, but you know what? Hey, man, there's other places to ride. I guess you can go there, right?
who wouldn't like what you're doing?
Well, you know, there's always going to be haters. You know, there's always people that want to say, oh, you're doing this wrong, or you're not doing this right, or you know, you should do this and you should do that. But you know, the beauty of self-funding this whole thing the way we have is we can tell people just to go pound sand. We don't really need to beat to anybody's drum.
Yeah, I like that. And it's crazy when I go to a track and I hear people making complaints and stuff, and I look at them, I go, do you have any idea how hard this is and how little profit there is on the back end? They're doing this for the love of it. For dear God, if you've got a complaint, at least be civil about it.
I agree. Yeah, but you'd be surprised, you know, there's always that one guy, right?
Yeah.
So,
oh, and then you're going to allow trainers, but they're going to have to be USMCA certified, correct?
that is correct. Yep. We have Kyle Lewis is kind of spearheaded the group of guys. Right now we have Kyle, Taylor Kendant, and Brian Brimhall. Those are the three guys that have been approved. Insurances are all in place. Everything's good to go, and they're business partners with us in this. And you know, if you want to train at Perris, you're going to have to invest in yourself. You're going to have to, you know, get the training from the USMCA. They're becoming a really good business partner with us. They've got some things that we're implementing as far as, you know, reports of accidents and getting some data on what type of injuries, where they're at, you know, on the track. So yeah, there's a lot going on in what we're doing right now. And this is a brand new business. It's 2 months old. And, you know, I feel that what we're doing at this point, I think we're killing it.
No, you're absolutely killing it. And now say, if I want to go ride there, what are your hours? How much is it? What do I need to do?
So our entry fee is $30. Right now we're open from Tuesday through Sunday. The hours are varying right now. The hours are changing because we're working on the lights. We're possibly thinking about opening up on Monday. So if things kind of go the way we think that they are, we're going to end up having it's basically a pro day on Monday and a pro day on Friday. And then the rest of the week will just be, we have our Tuesday nights and our Wednesday nights for some of the mini kids. The Tuesdays are a mini night, and then Wednesday is kind of a mixture of big bikes and minis. And then there's some training going on. Kyle and Caleb and those guys are training kids on those nights, and Brian as well. It's pretty cool, man. We have some zones set up for the trainers, where there's safety zones where they can pull the riders off, give them the instruction, they're out of the way, and then they can enter back into the track in a safe spot. So we're just kind of, basically what we're doing is we're kind of, instead of being a Wild West, we're kind of wrangling everybody up and trying to make it more civil and more, I guess, productive and safe. That's what our goal is.
Thank you for doing that with the trainers. Nothing pisses me off. So I'm just a vet guy. I just ride. Nothing pisses me off more than I go through a section and some coach is waving the mini kid in front of me, and then they're pulling off, and I'm like, yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
And I try to explain to these guys, listen, I'm riding the track. If you're going on and off, it's your responsibility to make sure I'm not coming.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're trying to eliminate as much of that kind of stuff as we possibly can. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's 100% perfect. There's always going to be something, right? But we're just trying to limit the exposure. And, it is comfort, it's really kind of comforting to know that, like, all of these trainers are all been certified. They all have CPR training. They have a code of ethics training. They have some first aid training, and they kind of understand what we're trying to do. So it's actually cool. I mean, we're really excited, and this is just the beginning of it. Who knows what the next 3 to 8 years are going to look like.
Dude, I love it. The sport needs more people like you guys. We the people. I love it, and I'm on board helping you guys out any way I can. And like I say, we'll get back on here in a few weeks. If you're doing the hot summer nights, and we'll announce some dates, and and maybe some pro purses. We'll see what Kenny's got in line. Yeah, we'll get Kenny on here with us, and just
that would be awesome, man. Kenny's a solid guy, and we Kenny and I we've never really personally met up until like maybe a month ago, but we have a lot of common family friends that are all really close. And Kenny just comes from the same thought process that we do. He's just straight shooter, and it's you either can do it or you can't, and there's going to be no beating around the bush. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Kenny will tell it to you straight. That's for sure. And the thing I trust about Kenny is he's genuinely got a good heart. He really means well. And I trust him. If Kenny tells me I'm doing something stupid, I take a hard look at it. I listen. So, but I'm also going to tell him, and it goes both ways. But yeah, he's a good dude. He's one of my favorite people in this industry. So
yeah, he is. And, he's super good friends with Kyle. God, I'm drawing
everybody.
He's good friends with everybody, but Kyle Bentley is Kyle Bentley's a really close family friend of ours. And, Kyle and Kenny go way back. I don't have to tell you what they've gone through in their careers together, but it's for us right now, it's a good fit. And we're really looking forward to what Kenny can bring to the table.
Well, Scott, thank you for your time on this Friday afternoon. I really appreciate it. And,
thank you as well, man. And I just want to say, hey, we love the support we're getting from everyone. Doing things like this podcast, I think is awesome. I think the more we can get our story out there, I think it'll just help this industry and kind of help what we're doing here in Southern California. And we're super stoked that you guys were, wanted to participate and let me have this chance to talk to you.
Are you kidding? We'll give you this platform anytime you want. My whole goal is Kenny, you, me, we all have this passion for this sport that might be unhealthy, but whatever we do. Right. I love it. I've loved it since I was a little kid. It's something that I cling to, and I cherish it. And I do not want to see the next generation not be able to have it because people butchered it by doing stupid stuff and cannibalizing it. To see you doing something that's going to grow it and harvest that family atmosphere. Because that was when I was a kid, we grew up, we had the family at the track. Some of these tracks you go to, and it's just like, I don't know that I'd bring my family out there because they're hot and dangerous and trashy place. It is a rough crowd, but
I'll tell you, Perris Raceway is definitely coming around, and there's been a new life on lease with Perris. We trim the trees, and the trees were dying. We trimmed these trees. The neighbors actually came by and said, I've lived in this neighborhood for 40 years, and there's not one person that's ever trimmed these trees. And man, it's crazy. The trees are blooming and they're blossoming. And it's like, I was telling the guys, we're walking through the pits, and I'm like, dude, look at these olive trees. They're like coming back to life. He goes, it's like karma, right? I mean, this whole thing is just like, it's like taking a piece of fruit, opening it up, and just seeing how rich it is and how much flavors to it. So, you know, that's pretty cool. And then, you know, for me and my passion with motocross, you know, I've been riding, I started riding when I was 5. And basically, if it wasn't for motocross, I don't know if I'd be here today. Motocross made me the person that I am. It helped me with my business. It taught me hard work, determination, and it's an individual sport that the more you put into it, the better it is, and the more you benefit from it. And it's just like, I consider it like a life skill. Motocross is like living life.
Oh,
And
1000%.
if
1000%.
you can't fake it, yeah, you can't fake it. You can either do it or you can't. It's real simple. And it's like life, and it's like running a business. You know, you can either make shit happen or you don't make it happen. You know?
If you don't put in the work, it shows.
It shows. Yeah.
Like I say, there's no, it's not, and the thing is, it's not like baseball or golf where if you don't put in the work, you just had to hit a bad shot. You're putting your ass on the line every time you throw that leg over. And what I tell people is like, I'm not a Nazi on safety. I'm a Nazi on let's not do stupid stuff, because it can go really quick from a beautiful afternoon to a life-changing event. And we've all seen it.
Yeah, we've all seen it.
And we're not going to stop riding because of the danger, but we could just minimize the dumb stuff. That's all I'm after. So
yeah, and we are too. You know, everything from putting a helmet on, riding in the pits, to not pit riding. You know, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Some of the pushback we've gotten is from like, hey, we're going to check your wristband if you're coming on the track. If you don't have a wristband in, you're not going on the track. You know, I don't care if you left it on the front seat of your truck, or your girlfriend's got it, or the dog ate it. You know, you're not riding. And it's the same thing with, you know, with people riding through the pits. We're just not going to have it. You know, I mean, we can't, like I said early on, it took a lot to get this policy and this insurance, and we're not going to shit the bed right out of the gate. We want to be around for a while. So if you don't like rules and regulations, then maybe this isn't the place for you. But if we're going to change the sport and make it a safe place for families to want to bring their kids, and moms to want to come and bring their kids after work while dad's still on the freeway, well, then so be it. You know, we're going to facilitate that. That's what we're going to do.
Absolutely love it. I'm stoked. I got to get out there and ride your track. So
you got to come out. Yeah. I mean, you're only 3.5 hours away. It's not that far.
So, okay. All right, my friend. We'll chat again, and definitely appreciate this. So you have
man. Afternoon. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. It was awesome.
Hey guys, what's happening? Jeff Emig, and I am out here at the all new renovated Perris Raceway. I got Scott with me here. Him and his team have created a whole new amazing motocross track for us here in Southern California. I've had a chance to ride it. It's perfect for the 150. I see all the guys out there on the 450s loving it. We even got a kid on an 85 ripping it, doing all the jumps. Vet track in the back that's going to be amazing also. So if you're here in SoCal, come out and check it out. If you're somewhere else, you got to get out here to this warm California winter and come ride Perris Motocross.
All right, y'all, what up, man? It's the Scrub Daddy out here on opening day. The track is amazing. Everything about it is cool. Ain't nothing I found yet like I can pick or nip it, but I really like the track. Flows good. And hey, check me out in a minute. I'm gonna take a couple laps. All right, y'all seen the footage. I went out with the GoPro. The track is amazing. I had a lot of fun. I ain't that fast, but as you can tell from the footage, I was having a blast. The track is fun and I enjoyed it, and thanks for having me out here, you guys.
What's up, guys? My name is Preston Baseflug. I ride for Team Green Monster Energy Pro Circuit. I'm out here at Perris Raceway and gonna try the new track. Really excited. finished up here at Perris. The new track is super fun. It's pretty technical, so it was different to ride, and switch it up a little bit. It was fun. Today was a hot one, kind of dried out a little bit, but it was still really fun. I'm looking forward to coming out here next week and doing some more motos, and recommend you guys come try it out. Like and subscribe.